News, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Tonight, I'm here with
Akusia Oche.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes, former Auditor General Daniel Yao Domelovo and 100 other Ghanaians petitioned Parliament to probe the conduct of Iyoko in the Cecilia Abena-Dapaah case. We'll be hearing more on what their position is and what they want Parliament to do. Also coming up, National Democratic Congress NDC continues its complaints against the Electoral Commission, asking it not to rig the election of 2024.
Possibly encouraged by assurances that the Electoral Commission of Ghana will rig the 2024 elections in favor of his party. If the EC by any chance harbors any such plans, then they better revise their notes.
And later, cement distributors and sellers poo-poo Trade Minister Katie Hammond's directive for them not to increase the cost of cement. They say the current inflation rate plus the dollar-CD ratio is making the minister's directive untenable. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
producer price inflation shoots up to 16.8% in April 2024.
That's in 50 minutes from the City Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations. Across the globe, we are on citynewsroom.com. We are also on YouTube. The link you should look for is City Newsroom. Actually, CityTube. That's the name of our YouTube channel. Do go there and send your messages and also view what is happening. You can also go on Twitter, use X. That's the new name of that particular app. Do send your messages at Umaru Sanda or at City973. Alternatively, you can go to other media houses that are bringing us Eyewitness News. If you are going outside Accra, I'm going to give you a list of stations that you can listen to us on. We are in the Upper West region on Tumpani Radio 88.5 in Nadoli and Jirapa 96.1 FM in Jirapa. In Upper East, we are on Rekas 92.1 FM in Bongo Namu. In the Northern region, we are on North Star Radio 92.1 in Tamale. In the Northeast region, we are live on Nobia 98.1 FM in Nalerugu. In the Western region, we are on Beach 105.5 FM in Takoradi. Sky Power 93.5 FM in Takoradi is also bringing us this broadcast. In the Ashanti region, we are on Focus 94.3 FM on the campus of the KNUST in Kumasi. We are also in Kumasi on Orange 107.9 in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're on Sela Radio 97.1 in Dabala and also on Holy 98.5 FM in Aflao. In the Savannah region, we're on Kasha 99.5 FM in Damongo, the regional capital. Send us your messages 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Cecilia Abena-Dapaah has become a household name. This was after huge sums of monies, both in the local currency and other foreign currencies, were stolen from her house. It led to the police complaint that her house helps had stolen money from her home. That actually opened a can of worms. The Office of Special Prosecutor swung into action, went into her home, spent 5 hours counting money. The money was seized. Her account was frozen. There was an order to defreeze the account and return her money. After 7 months of back and forth, the OSP washed his hands off the case and handed it over to Iyoko, asking Iyoko to investigate. After some weeks, Iyoko, upon advice from the Attorney General's department, returned the docket to the Office of Special Prosecutor, saying that they have nothing to investigate or prosecute on. So the matter was almost dying until this afternoon when we saw this petition, which has been signed by so many people. I'm going to just mention some of the persons who signed this particular petition. So we have Dr. Adam Bona, we have Daniel Yaudomelovu, we have Professor Ransford Jampo, and several other persons. In fact, the list here says that there are 100 plus other people who have signed this petition. It's titled, Dear Sir, Petition for Parliamentary Probe into Iyoko's Failure to Investigate the Money Laundering Allegation Against Cecilia Dapa, Article 103 of the Constitution 1992, and Standing Orders of Parliament.
Procurement breaches, which was not within their mandate. I have to use the High Court to rule against them before they stopped. Recently, when Professor Stephen Adai made an allegation of corruption and corruption-related issues against, I think, Ministry of Roads, quickly Yoko went in and investigated and cleared them. So even where their mandate does not go, they are quick to investigate. So this one falls right within their mandate, and they said they will not investigate. That keeps us wondering, what is the story behind the story of Madame Cecilia Dapa? We want to unravel the story behind the story of Madame Cecilia Dapa. That is why we are petitioning Parliament.
So your worry is that what the Iyoko said it cannot do, it actually can do. It is simply refusing to do.
Exactly. They didn't say that it's outside their jurisdiction or their mandate. If you listen to or you read the document from the OSP, they made it clear that it was money laundering issue. So it falls outside their mandate, which one can understand. If Yoko had told us that they also have done investigation and they found out that it is outside their mandate, we have no problem. But then they have not told us that, and they decided not to do the investigation. But they are very notorious of investigating cases which even fall outside their mandate. That keeps us worried.
They have mentioned that what they are doing is based on advice from the Attorney General's Department. The Attorney General Department knows, or officers there, and indeed the Attorney General himself know our laws very well. And so if they are the ones who ultimately advise state institutions, even the president and the government, he's a principal advisor, clearly the expectation is that the advice that they've given is watertight.
That gives us even more cause to worry, because I don't see well, we are not lawyers and I'm not a lawyer, so forgive me for that, but I don't see the reason why Attorney General will advise that don't investigate. I thought the best thing the Attorney General will have advised is that investigate. You can finish the investigation and tell us you found nothing. If you found nothing, we can't force a Yoko to find something which they didn't find. But to say don't do the investigation, it beats some of us our understanding. That's why I'm saying that we want actually to understand the story behind the story. Maybe the Attorney General himself may be called to Parliament to explain, because we don't understand. Cases which fall outside their jurisdiction, they go ahead and investigate. Cases which are within their jurisdiction, you say no, they should not. It beats some of us our understanding.
Could it be that there's really nothing in there to investigate or to prosecute? Maybe the Cecilia case is just a case that nothing can come out of. I've seen a video of an interview with respected and statesman, senior lawyer Sam Okujeto, in which he said that there's absolutely nothing wrong with someone having money. There's nothing that makes it illegal. Everybody is entitled to have wealth, and nobody goes around questioning people as to why and how they own certain monies that they have, how they bought a car that they own, for instance, or a mansion that they built, or a business that they started. Why is it special? And in fact, there's no law that says do not keep money in your home. So what Cecilia has done is what everybody does anyway, except that she has a case out there, but strictly speaking, there's nothing to pull out of that. It's a complete waste of the efforts of the state to try and prosecute someone for being rich.
I beg to differ with him on several grounds. Ground number one, if you read clause 4 of Article 286, which talks about asset declaration, Honorable Cecilia Dapa, being a minister of state, is supposed to declare her assets. And according to clause 4 of the 286, if the assets found with her that do not correspond with the declaration that she made or do not match with her known sources of income, then those assets are quite contrary to the Constitution. That is one. Two, if you go under Section 1, subsection 3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, it also provides that anyone who is being investigated for money laundering and the person having in his or her possession property which he or she cannot account for or cannot be reasonably attributed to his or her sources of income is guilty of money laundering. So, Honorable, I don't know where Honorable Okujeto is coming from. Well, that is his understanding of the law, being a lawyer, but I vehemently disagree with him.
Okay, but the issue about asset declaration, it is only upon investigation, which investigation proves that what she declared at the beginning of the government is not what was seen at the end of the government, or there's some proceeds there that cannot be explained. We have not had any evidence. In fact, Yoko or the OSP has not said to us that we went to summon the asset declaration form that Cecilia Dapa wrote some 5 years ago or some 7 years ago. And when we did a correspondence check, we realized that she's acquired or accumulated more money than she explained to us. And so then there's a need to ask her to explain the source of wealth. We haven't even seen that, have we?
Yeah, we can see that because the law which mandates calling of the asset declaration form and the details does not include OSP, but it includes Yoko. And when I was in office, Yoko was writing to me to request people's declaration. So that was one of the issues, that at least they could have looked at it to say, look, this quantum of money is huge. Can we attribute it to your income sources? Did you declare it when you became minister in 2017, I think? And remember, the Constitution says after 4 years, you do another declaration. So have you declared all this? If Yoko has even done all this work and done some preliminary investigation and come and say, look, we can't find anything, I think we would have given them the benefit of the doubt. But just to tell us that Attorney General says we should not investigate, so we are not investigating. Where we know Yoko is very quick at investigating cases which they don't even have mandate to investigate. It leaves or it begs the question. And that's why we think we want to just simply understand the story behind the story of Honorable Cecilia Dapa. We are not saying that she is guilty of anything, but we want the story behind her story. Thank you.
Does it not mean that in the future we should just start looking around for anybody who is rich and then start questioning them? Would that also not be a problem in this country if we start doing that? Or that's actually what's supposed to be done?
In some countries, if you are minded, there is a lifestyle audit done on public officers in particular. If you are holding a position where you have access to public funds, even in the US, they investigate you. So it is not anything new, but that is not the case here. This one, it has come to the public knowledge that, in fact, I don't know, since you, Umaru, you were born, and since I was born, I have never heard of anybody having such amount of money in his or her house. The quantum of the money involved alone rings a bell, especially when you are a public officer. And it is not for no reason that Article 286 requires that declare your assets before you come to office. 4 years on, declare again. And when you are leaving office, declare. But if you declare subsequently and we cannot reconcile what you have just declared with the earlier declaration, and you can also not attribute it to your known sources of income, then we think you have acquired it unconstitutionally. It is not for a joke. The same way also, Section 1, subsection 3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020 also says if you are being investigated and you cannot account for some properties under your control or in your possession, and it cannot be attributed also to your known source of income, you are guilty of an offense. So we want to know whether it is because of the prophecy of the president. Remember when president was receiving her resignation, he prophesied that integrity and reputation also will be restored. Is it because of that prophecy, or it is for the fear of the fact that if she's being investigated under the Money Laundering Act, she may be found culpable under Section 1, Subsection 3? We don't know. That's why I'm saying that the best thing we think we should do is to know the story behind the story. And we think the proof may bring that out.
Finally, are you asking Parliament to do the investigation of the Cecilia case, or you are asking Parliament to investigate Iyoko? Which one do you want?
We want Parliament to investigate all the circumstances under which she got all those monies. If she makes it known to all of us, we will be happy. We also want to know why Iyoko is not interested in doing the investigation.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Welcome. Thank you.
That's Daniel Yao Domelovo. He is former Auditor General, speaking to us there on a petition that he and over 100 others have penned down and sent to the Speaker of Parliament, invoking Article 103 of the 1992 Constitution, asking that Parliament intervenes in this particular matter of Cecilia Abena Dapai. And I'm just looking at Article 103 of the 19, the House of Parliament to set up a committee. So it says, Parliament shall appoint standing committees and other committees as may be necessary for the effective discharge of its functions. The standing committees shall be appointed at the first meeting of Parliament after the election of the Speaker and the deputies. Committees of Parliament shall, so it generally talks about these committees, whether they are standing or they are just committees that are set up for a purpose. So recall when that allegation of cash for seats was made against Alan Kojo Chamantin, there was a committee that was set up, chaired by the Honorable Jogat and the Skadokita MP at the time.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
Yeah. We have a new leader in town. OBRNT. I'm for. Me don't want to see baby. When him say my baby, maybe more charcoal for whiter teeth. More charcoal. Not only that, maybe lemon. More lemon. Zinc for fresher breath. More zinc. And fluoride for stronger teeth.
Introducing the new President Charcoal Pack with more power with a combination of charcoal and lemon for naturally whiter teeth. Grab yours now. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a contractor, builder, or a proud homeowner with an eye for quality and security? Well, look no further than Yale. Yale is the trusted name in security for over 180 years. When it comes to securing your home or business, trust Yale. We make security simple, and we're right here in the heart of Accra, Ghana. Visit our stunning showroom on 11th Lane Street, Inosu, Accra, and discover a world of premium Yale products, including door hardware, handles, and door locks that will elevate the security and style of your space. Whether you're building from scratch or renovating, Yale has the perfect solution for you. Our products are known for their durability, innovation, and most importantly, your peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the Yale difference. Your security, our priority. Yale, locking in your peace of mind.
You know, Papa see that? And it's Ricky Tika. Hey, Papa! Papa! Oh, Bobo, so how your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy.
Can't touch this.
Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that.
Yes, so
somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched.
Sancho Panza.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. Now, the flag bearer of the new patriotic party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has reiterated his promise to give incentives to churches if elected president. The vice president had described as a joke a campaign promise he made last week in which he frowned on taxing churches and also promised to pay them. Speaking with the clergy at the Modern City Hotel in Tamale in the Northern Region, Dr. Bawumia further clarified his position on the matter, describing the faith-based organizations as development partners who need government support.
When we say we are looking for development partners, we always make the mistake of thinking our development partners are the foreigners. But our development partners are really the ones here who are developing this country every day, who are building the schools, the hospitals, the universities, caring for the sick and the needy every day. These are our development partners. So I ask the question, why do you give tax exemptions to external development partners and don't give the same tax exemptions to your domestic development partners like the churches and the faith-based organizations? It doesn't make sense. So we are going to have to change all of that. And I have made it clear that under my government, no churches or faith-based organizations will be taxed. No taxation, because you do a lot of good work for the country. So that matter will not come up for discussion. It's not going to be an issue. We would rather be giving you incentives to do more work for us, not taxing you. We will be giving you more incentives to do more work for us. We are not going to be taxing you. On this as matter of the close relationship between the government and the church, because we want you to be involved. Schools, you've established so many schools. We have to talk about how the churches help us in schools management, for example, because we have to inculcate a lot of values early on in our children.
That was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia speaking there. But on the issue of LGBTQ+, the vice president reiterated his opposition to its legalization in the country. He says his position on the matter will not be changed.
On this vexed matter of LGBTQ, I want to state again without any equivocation that we will not allow it in Ghana. It is not going to be allowed. Our Bible says no, our Quran says no, our people say no. So, no, that is the answer. No man will be marrying a man, no woman will be marrying a woman. It is not our values, and I will stand firm no matter the consequences. We will stand firm on that matter, no matter the consequences. We will safeguard our country and we will safeguard our people.
That's flag bearer of the new patriotic party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, has expressed concern over the threat posed to Ghana's democracy by religion-based campaigning. Well, the NCCE says it will name and shame political figures who engage in such campaigning tactics. While speaking to City News, chairperson of the NCC, Ms. Kathleen Addy, said the name and shame approach is necessary to the potential harm that religion-based campaigning can cause to the electoral process. She indicated that this, with the two major political parties presenting Muslim and Christian candidates, religion-based campaigning has become a worrying trend that could undermine the integrity of the electoral process.
Issues of religion are very emotive, and so when that becomes a consideration for political power, it's a very toxic mix. We need to select our leaders based on criteria that will actually deliver for us in terms of what our aspirations are as a people. And religious consideration is not one of those criteria. That's not an indicator of the kind of leader that you get. At the end of the day, if we are going into an election, we want a leader who will deliver the benefits of the democracy that we embarked on 30-something years ago. And so we should focus on the things that will actually help that leader to emerge. Religious consideration is not one of those things that will help that leader to emerge. So we are very keen to ensure that this does not become another issue in the election cycle. You know that in countries where these things happen, it evolves into religious intolerance. Once we start using religion as a basis for selecting leaders, electing people and so forth, it becomes the basis for increasing religious intolerance. And religious intolerance only leads to a breakdown of society and chaos. So we are trying to nip it in the bud so that we don't even get to that point.
That was Kathleen Addy, chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, NCC.
This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka. In Accra, we are also around the globe on citynewsroom.com. Let's talk about the public spat between the Electoral Commission and the President of Imani Africa. The President of Imani Africa, Franklin Cudjoe, has been serving some warnings and notices on the creation of the new constituency known as Guan, which represents the people of Sancho Kofi Akpafu, Lolobi, and Likpe, or the short form being SAO. Now, yesterday, the EC issued a statement to respond to Franklin Cudjoe. Again, today, it has issued another statement. Let me read part of it for you. It starts with, in spite of the Electoral Commission's press statement on 15th May 2024, backed by documents refuting the false and unfounded allegations by the President of Imani to the effect that the Commission disenfranchised voters in the Guan constituency, Franklin Cudjoe has continued to misinform and mislead the public by making reference to a public and district assembly. Doing so would have violated Act 936. The Electoral Commission has a constitutional mandate to create constituencies and educate and inform citizens about the specific constituencies in which they are legally allowed to vote. As explained in a previous statement, given that the legislative instrument that created the Guan district came into force on 9th November 2020, the same day Parliament went on recess, and with Parliament only returning from recess on 14th December 2020, that is after the general elections, the constitutional instrument creating the Guan constituency could not be laid before Parliament in the response of 13th November 2023. Quote, Mr. Speaker, the SAO problem began in November 2020 when Parliament allowed the local government, that's the Guan District Assembly Establishment Instrument 2020 LI 2416, for the creation of the Guan District, which had been laid before Parliament on Tuesday, 6 October 2020, to come into effect. On Monday, 9th November 2020, less than a month before the December 2020 election, LI 2416 came into force after having satisfied the constitutional prerequisite of being laid before Parliament for 21 sitting days, and same had not been annulled by Parliament. It is pertinent to note that the areas carved into the Guan district by LI 2416 were hitherto part of the Jasikan district. Thank you. Signed, Michael Boidu, Acting Director, Public Affairs, Electoral Commission. So this is a direct response to Franklin Cudjoe, who is actually joining us on the line. He's president of Imani Africa. Franklin, so we have 265 districts or local government areas, but we have 275. So there are more constituencies than districts. And that's what the EC is saying here, that the moment you have a district that does not have a constituency, you have to create a constituency out of that district.
Well, first of all,
so if you take Accra Metropolitan Assembly, it has two constituencies, Ododo Diodio and I think Koli Klote is no more. But he used to have Ablekuma South. So Ablekuma South and Ododo are two constituencies inside Accra Metropolitan Assembly.
Okay. Well, listen, the fact of the matter is that we have more constituencies than districts. I think that issue must be settled. There's no policy that says one constituency, one district. I think that's the point I'm seeking to make. Secondly, the statement they wrote, you see, they keep on putting dust in people's eyes. It was this same EC that passed CI, I think 128, placing the people of Guan, the SAL areas in the Bwem constituency, right? So the sensible thing they should have done, which the Attorney General eventually advised, was that they should have just allowed us to vote in Bwem. So there was even no need to be thinking about creating the constituency when you knew you were not going to finish it before even the parliament was going to rise. That so-called Grand constituency was not even a creature that should have been contemplated because they, the EC, had already worked on the CI 128, placing SAL areas in the Bwem constituency. We recall that the Attorney General not long ago suggested that, in fact, look for that statement online. He said that the EC preventing SAL people to vote was unsound in the Bwem constituency. So, yet again, they are actually issuing statements and reversing their own actions. You already passed the CI 128 that placed these people in the Bwem constituency. Even though we disagreed, that's what you did. So the sensible thing for you to do was not to be assuring us that we'll still vote in Ohohoi on 1st December 2020, according to Mate, Samuel Tete. You shouldn't be saying that to us. You shouldn't be saying that when you met our elders, when J. Mensa met our elders on November 30th. Only for 5 days later, in fact, 6 hours to the elections, issue a statement that we cannot vote. Did you know all of this? Did you know all of this? Why didn't you say this even before the elections were held? Why did you wait until the eve of an election, 6 hours to the election? Then you sent a statement saying they cannot vote. You didn't even say they could even vote in Bwem. We just left them hanging. When your own CI 128 had already firmly placed these people in Bwem.
But is that not what they're saying?
Hold on. Your Attorney General then tells you that the sensible thing you should have done in order to avoid the constitutional crisis was to have allowed these people to even vote in Bwem. But you callously left us hanging, and now you are coming back with these silly explanations telling us that you are right in actually disenfranchising us. What type of human being, what type of blood flows through these people? You're not even saying sorry. Omaru, please wait. You're not even saying sorry for what you have done. You're actually inflicting more pain and telling us that we were stupid, right? Listen, have you seen Oliver Bakawa's statement, by the way? I'll urge you for you to read it. And you see the inconsistencies and the lies these people have perpetuated. What is this walking back on this district that we created? You said you wanted to create a Gwen constituency. If you really wanted to do it in time, you would have started much earlier. You even claimed you didn't even know when Parliament was rising, but you are preparing the instruments to go to Parliament. You did not know when you started the constitutional instrument to create a Gwen constituency, so-called. You didn't know. You claim you didn't know Parliament was on recess. Really? And then you wait until then. In any case, what happens after 2020, 2021? Why didn't you do all of this? And you are not telling us that because you didn't create a grand constituency, the people who were moving into that constituency should become internally displaced. What kind of nonsense is this? Really?
Franklin, please mind your language. But let's stick to let's just stick to a few of the facts that they put out.
I expect that you guys should run editorials. Maybe you should ask the likes of Sky and you follow these stories pretty well.
Yes, but you see, let's stick to the facts that they have put out there.
No.
First of all, so
Omaru, wait. Do you know that they issued a CI, worked on 128 to place the people of SAL in the in Bwem? Did you know that? Do you know that as you speak, Kofi Adams is being challenged in court that his election is even invalid because it didn't include the people of SAL?
Yes, and the Electoral Commission is now indirectly saying here that Kofi Adams was not elected wrongly, as is being called, because he was not elected by people from two different districts.
Sandra, do you know that CI 128, this Electoral Commission, supervised it actually encouraged it and placed our people in Buen. Did you know that? Do you know that that is why the Attorney General advised them that if I look for, just Google, you see Attorney General saying that his decision to prevent SARS was on sound. The word he used was on sound because they could have voted in Buen. In any case, let's come back to Mother Earth. All these woolly explanations they are giving. What has happened to us since 2020? What steps have they taken to rectify the situation? They did not do anything. We're hanging like lizards on walls without representation. We're paying salary, paying taxes that were feeding fat on, and they have the temerity to be writing these obsequious letters in the public. What type of life is this?
But they have assured you now.
They should be apologizing.
They have assured you now.
These kinds of annoying statements.
But they've assured you now that you would be voting in the constituency because you are now in a constituency in a different district, and that the funny thing, in the past you couldn't have voted. It would have. So that's why they allowed you to vote in the presidential election because it's one constituency nationwide.
Yeah.
But when it came to the parliamentary candidate, they thought you should not.
Hold on. Why did you allow us to vote in the presidential election in Buen? But you didn't allow us to vote in the parliamentary election in Buen. When your own CI...
No, because if you vote in presidential election, whether you vote in Bunkurugu or you vote in Elembele, you are voting in one constituency.
Sandra, you are justifying these people's... I'm talking to you about making rational decisions. You passed the CI that you are putting us in Buen. Then you claim that at the same time you are creating the Guan constituency, which you didn't finish. You didn't finish, which means that what? We return to the status ante. Is that not what should happen? That's why Mate said, Tete said that they will be allowed to vote in their mother constituency.
But you can't return to status ante because a district has been created. That LI that was...
Which district has been created by them?
The Guan district had been created. That's what the commission is drawing your attention to.
You are confusing yourself. What I'm saying to you is that...
I am not confusing myself. Franklin, I am not confusing myself. I have read the documents for you. The district that was created was done by the state, and the Electoral Commission says it has no hand in the creation. In fact, I'm going to read for you paragraph 7. No, Franklin, please indulge me. Please indulge me.
I know the issues better than
no
you,
problem.
Seriously.
But you have said that I'm confusing myself, and I'm saying to you that I'm not.
But you're reading from the same liars. Statement that they are lying.
Is it not true? Is it not true that an instrument was placed before Parliament to create the Guan district, which instrument matured, but which Parliament has not cancelled? And so, to the extent that Parliament did not annul that instrument, that district came into life as of December 14 or December 7 rather, and because of that, people cannot vote in that constituency. That's what the EC is saying, and you have not convinced me that cannot be possible.
What are you talking about? Which December 7? Which instrument was created that came into effect in December 7? They said they started the process to put SAL in the Guan constituency, but they couldn't finish because Parliament went on recess.
No, they said that the legislative instrument that created the Guan district, what that means that Guan district became alive on 9th November 2020. The same day Parliament went on recess. So no, hold on. So they're saying that if a district was created as of 9th November 2020, there's no way the people of that district can vote in a different constituency on December 7. And to the extent that no new constituency was created between November 9, 2020 and December 7, 2020, there was no way those people could vote for a member of parliament. If they did, it would be a violation of not just the constitution, but also the Local Government Act. That's what they have said. And I'm asking you to speak to these facts.
Please, you started the whole process claiming that, yes, a district has been established. You wanted to create a constituency to suspend CI 128. So from allowing us from voting in Buen. Is that not what they are saying right now? And that they wanted us to vote in a new constituency. And they got stymied because Parliament went on recess. Second commonsensical question. Parliament went on recess. Yes, elections were held. What then happened between January 2021 and 2024? Why were the people hanging and not represented? This is a country where when an MP dies, within weeks, there's a by-election. Are you saying Parliament couldn't have, there was no way of creating, allowing us to vote, and then creating that constitution, allowing us to vote? What are you talking about? So the people should hang?
That's a fair comment. As for the issue as to why you have been paying tax for 4 years and having taxation without representation, that's a different point. But I'm just saying that about the creation of the constituency and the district, that's also a different issue.
In any case, I'm only saying that the so-called time they said they were prevented, there was ample time between January 2021 and now. Why did they wait until all of this for almost 3 years without representation for these people? Can you also say that they were waiting for the CI Parliament to come back, and Parliament has come back anyway? I think in all of this, the question really must be answered.
So your wish was that you should have been allowed to elect an MP within the past 3 or 4 years.
The wish was that we should have been represented, whether we were allowed to vote anywhere else or not. The issue is we should have been represented. They are not addressing that issue. Isn't it curious? And they are making excuses when I'm telling you that, yes, people die in this country within which elections are held. Okay. What prevented this EC for a whole 3.5 years, to come and be issuing statements to more or less support something they had wrongly done?
My attention has just been drawn. In all of this, frankly, so a lawyer has just drawn my attention to what you are asking for. And the suggestion is that when a new constituency is created, it can only have an MP in the next general election. And so that is why, even though you have a constituency that was created as way back as January last 2021, you could not be voting for such a person because it's not a by-election situation. It's a new constituency in the sense of the word. So you have to wait until 2024 to vote. And that is what my attention has just been drawn to.
Rationalizations as we go. And they keep citing laws. Don't people go to court with laws and then judgments are made to supersede the very reasons for which they went to court. Interpretations can be made all the time. Look, at the end of the day, we were unjustifiably denied representation. How about that? Have they even said sorry? To start off with, they haven't. And they are giving you these excuses to explain something they themselves sat on their bottoms and didn't do early. So we are blaming them for doing that, assuming all that they are saying even makes sense. Why didn't you do it in time? You knew when you started the process. That's why they are being blamed for directly disenfranchising us. In any case, as I told you, look, my chiefs came to Jean Mensah, asked him for them to meet on 30th November, assuring them that they will be voting. In fact, the second day, 1st December, they got their own director of operations saying, oh, these people will vote in their mother constituency. When they were saying all of these things to us, didn't they know that the so-called issues they are raising now we're going to prevent everybody from voting?
Okay,
what are you talking about? We are talking about an administration that is just interested in peddling lies and please.
Let's leave it there. Thank you so much. Thank you for speaking to us, Franklin. That's Franklin Kujo. He's president of Imani Africa. Let me just add that in my example to Franklin, I mentioned that there are districts or local assembly areas or local government areas that have more than one constituencies. I use the AMA, Accra Metropolitan Assembly, as an example, and I mentioned that the AMA has 2 constituencies, namely the Ododo-Diodio constituency and the Ablekuma South constituency. My attention has just been drawn that there's a 3rd constituency which I forgot. That's the Okaikwe South constituency, which is around the Awudome Cemetery area and the Kwame Nkrumah Circle area. So AMA has 3. There are several other districts that have more than one constituencies. Others, though, have just one constituency, which may have a different name than the district assembly. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka, in Accra. When we come back, we'll do latest in the world of business, and then we'll go to Point Blank, where we have a few issues to deal with. Please stay.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
KB, yo. Hey, KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Wow. KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people.
Charlie,
we all need to trust the process, because hope days.
There has never been a better better time to enter into agribusiness? Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program because every step pays. Ejuma Wokro, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
You know, Papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa!
Bobo, so how your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy.
Can't touch this.
Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched.
Sancho Panzapa.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman Mane. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
This is City Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. I am Akosia Oche. Let's settle for details of our stories now. The producer price inflation rate for April 2024 has increased to 16.8%, higher than 15.3% recorded in March 2024. The PPI rate for month-on-month also increased to 4.1% in April this year from 3.2% in March 2024. This is according to the Ghana Statistical Service. The producer price index measures the average change over time in the selling prices of goods and services as received by domestic producers.
According to the latest reports by the Ghana Statistical Service, the month-on-month producer price or ex-factory prices was 4.1% in April 2024, higher than the 3.2% recorded in March 2024. In the industry sector, excluding construction, the rate increased to 20.2% in April from the 18.8% in March. However, the rate in the construction sector decreased to 50.0% in April 2024. In the services sector, the rate increased from 7.6% in March to 9.4%. The construction sector recorded an inflation rate of 50%, followed by mining and quarrying at 26.4%, electricity and gas at 23.8%, and accommodation and food services activities at 23.5%. These figures were all above the national average of 16.8%. On the other hand, water supply, sewage and waste management activities recorded the lowest inflation of 7.5% in April 2024. In the manufacturing subsector, 10 out of the 23 major groups recorded inflation rates higher than the sector's average of 7.6%.
That was a news desk report put together by Daniel Sakiti. Now, in an effort to combat the depreciation of the cedi against major foreign currencies, the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, is calling for the need to discourage the hoarding of dollars in households. While AGI contends that such measures could facilitate the circulation of foreign currencies, thereby stimulating economic recovery. Speaking to City Business News, the Greater Accra Regional Chairman for AGI, Chonam Apelo, urged law enforcement agencies to take action against individuals who stockpile foreign currencies in their residences.
We've also seen situations where some individuals would actually keep dollars at home as a way of investment. It's normally not an encouraged practice. It's not proper that you keep dollars at home. We need the money to flow in the system. Once the money circulates, it helps the economy grow. So we really want a situation where there's a way that they can find a way of identifying people who hoard hard currency at home. Because that way the economy is struggling as a result. The economy is losing value as a result. And also we want to see many of our people consuming local products so that together we can build a stronger economy.
That was Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries, Chonam Akpelo. Now, long-term financing has been identified as a crucial strategy in bolstering entrepreneurs and small to medium-scale enterprises engaged in the manufacturing sector, vital for generating employment and driving the country's economic growth. Entrepreneurs and startups frequently encounter hurdles related to capital as they strive to expand their ventures. Speaking to the media on the sidelines of the just ended 3i Africa Summit, board member of Development Bank Ghana and also CEO of Sleek Garments Export Limited, Dr. Nora Bannerman Abbott, emphasized the necessity for increased backing for entrepreneurs.
Our young ones have become so creative, so innovative, but they do not have the money again to scale up. I mean, their creativity in some cases goes beyond what we can find globally, but they have no access to finance. So they sit in their little small space, it doesn't go anywhere else. By a certain age, frustration sets in, and that's the end of the story. So this is the message we're trying to put out there. There's long-term financing. Also, we as DBG are investing in research, as I said, and development. We are also creating platforms for mentorship, and we are encouraging PFIs, that's our banks, to also get that involved. I personally, in conversations with banks in the past, spoke that they need to give their personnel the training to have deeper understanding of what industry is about, what industry can do for an economy, and therefore do for them as a bank. When the economy is successful, when everything is as it should be, as we see on developed levels, banks will also benefit.
Dr. Nora Bannerman Abbott is board member of Development Bank Ghana and also CEO of Sleek Garments Export Limited. Now, latest data from the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture reveals that Ghana's international arrivals generated a remarkable $3.8 billion by the end of 2023, a substantial increase from the previous year's $2.5 billion. Well, this surge marks a significant rebound for the sector following the pandemic-induced downturn. Well, speaking at the GIPC Quarter 2 CEO's 2024 breakfast meeting in Accra on behalf of the sector minister, John Yao Adbeko, the chief director of the ministry stressed the potential for further growth if stakeholders collaborate to establish a conducive regulatory framework for the tourism sector.
In Africa, the tourism industry showed considerable strength, recouping 75% of its pre-pandemic receipts. Ghana, however, recorded a total international arrival of 914,882 in 2022 and 1,148,002 in 2023. Giving a receipt of $2.5 billion USD and $3.8 billion respectively. I would like to underline here that these are just the international arrivals. If we put together the domestic visitation, which was 1,407,709 in 2023, computes all the receipts from arts and culture and the creatives, we can say surely that tourism or the sector contributes is a third contributor to our national GDP.
Chief Director of the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, John Iyao Agbeko. Finally, the Deputy Finance Minister, Dr. Stephen Amwa, while also speaking at the GIPC Q2 CEO's breakfast meeting, advocated for both players and patrons in the tourism industry to prioritize domestic tourism, aiming to stabilize the depreciating city. While the tourism sector ranks among the top 4 sectors attracting forex inflows into the country.
All its agencies, we need to visit all the tourist sites and spend some money for the actors in these areas, so that they also make money. I think we need to begin that thing. One thing I've seen about Africa is that we have a lot of ideas, but sometimes the global models control us too much. We need to build homegrown policy tools that specifically address our needs. So we need to do all these things. Let's begin to show that high level of patronage and keep the money here. We always talk about CD. If you change dollars and go there, why won't the CD suffer? But if we stay here and the dollar people come here, they will demand for our currency. I think as a country, we have everything at our disposal to develop tourism because God has endowed us. And I think one of the areas, apart from tax incentives, apart from government supporting tourism in Ghana, I'm also going to talk to my minister.
That was Deputy Finance Minister Dr. Stephen Amwa. Well, that's it for City Business News on Eyewitness News. It was brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan made that big move and dream a reality. My name is Akwesua Orchard. Don't tune off. Up next is Point Blank.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
KB, yo. Hey, KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Wow. KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope day.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program because every step pays. Ejuma Wokrom, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
There are some classy celebrations that calls for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle up to 50% more than the industry standard and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Umaru Sandama. Tonight on Point Blank, when was the last time you bought cement? Are you planning to build and need to buy cement? The bag of cement, the price has been increased. The Minister for Trade and Industry, Katie Hammond, is not happy with the increments. He has ordered the Cement Manufacturers Association of Ghana to halt price increases of their products. In a statement, the minister directed the Cement Manufacturing Development Committee to instruct cement producing companies to immediately reverse the recent price hikes. But the president of the Cement Manufacturers Association of Ghana, George Dawson Amwa, says the directive is without basis and justification. Let's listen to him.
It's unfortunate because in the very first place, it takes one's mind to, a price control regime where there can be a directive from the ministry in regards to prices or reduced price. So it's like a price control regime, which of course we don't have that in Ghana. It's a free market, and basically these manufacturers or producers, set their prices based on production costs. By economics, this is actually what happens. That one cannot arrive at a retail price or a selling price without taking into consideration the production costs. And this is what has happened now. The cement industry is, it's like things over importation of raw materials. Producing a bag of cement or manufacturing cement in Ghana, you need about 75 to 80% imported raw materials. The chunk of it you are talking about clinker, which we don't have anywhere in Ghana, we need to import. Then other spare parts, other equipment, blah, 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 that sort of thing. So that should tell you that fluctuation of exchange rate is crucial, very crucial to this actually industry. Very crucial, the frustration. And this is what my brother, we've been experiencing. For 3 months, cedi to $1 from 11 to 15. And like I told you, that is what is actually happening in the cement industry. So the price increase which recently going on, basically due to the exchange rate fluctuation, which actually is a result of the cedi depreciation. You import with dollar, you come and sell in cedi, you change into dollar to go for raw materials. So basically that is what has happened.
So if you are to meet the minister today on this particular directive, you mean you can outrightly tell him this directive will not materialize, or it's not feasible?
No, the point is that as it is right now, you know very well that we are not in a price control regime.
Yeah.
What you can do is negotiation. Maybe we just talk about after the fact, the justification, the reason for the price increase is obvious. The minister can tell me that he doesn't know what's going on. And he is our second minister, and I would say that the cement industry, we have a good relationship with the Minister of Trade and Industry. And surprisingly, I think whatever should be a directive should have been inviting us to justify, inviting us to negotiate, inviting us to look at the circumstances, looking at it, so that we can all together, the government and the industry, can find an antidote to that. For this directive, honestly, I think, for me, I don't know, for want of better ways, I think that should not have been the approach. Should have not been the approach.
But
because it's investment, and they need to put in their investment. And here we are talking about production costs that have led to retail prices. So it's like the best approach should look into what has precipitated or what has necessitated this pricing. I think that should be the best approach. Absolutely. A directive, just to withdraw, announce retail price. On what basis? On what basis? Now, like I told you, we are talking about production cost. Okay, this reason that you increase the price. Now dollar is 15, but dollar is now 12. So please adjust your price increase accordingly. But just then withdraw your prices based on what? The situation does not change.
That's George Dawson Amwa. He's president of the Cement Manufacturers Association of Ghana. He was speaking to Fred Duho of the Citi Newsroom on that directive by Katie Hammond, the Minister for Trade and Industry, to the Cement Manufacturing Development Committee to instruct cement producing companies to immediately reverse the recent price hikes. Let's come down from the association level to speak to an ordinary distributor of cement. He's joined us on the line. We'll not mention his name. Okay, apologies, we've lost him. So go back on the line and speak to him in a bit. Meanwhile, we're talking about the NDC. It has called a press conference today, at which press conference it told the Electoral Commission not to attempt to rig the 2024 elections. The General Secretary addressed the press. We'll be hearing from him in a bit. Not his real name, but he's a cement distributor. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Man.
Okay, so the Minister for Trade and Industry has directed the Cement Manufacturing Development Committee to instruct cement producing companies not to immediately reverse the recent price hikes. You are not a cement producer, but you are a distributor. I wanted you to help us understand how the chain works. So where do these distributors, when we see all these sellers of cement, how do you get your cement? Which companies do you go to? And how do you price your products? So for instance, I know that you cannot sell petrol for more than what you are supposed to sell it for in any part of the country at the same price. So the price of cement, a liter of petrol in Tema, for instance, is the same that you can get in Wa. How does it work with cement? Do you consider distance which you add on the price, or the factory price and how much you sell it is the same? How does it work?
It's not different from the factory industry. It's really the same.
I'm having difficulty hearing you. Can you do something about your phone? If you're on loudspeaker or on an earpiece, kindly disengage that.
Okay, let me. I'm taking it off the loudspeaker.
Yes, it's better.
Okay now?
Yes, it's okay. Please go ahead.
So I said it's not different from the cement. It's not different from the petrol. Most of times we work through the agents at the cement factory, like Jackson, for instance. You can't walk straight to the factory that you want to buy a product. You have an agent that you're supposed to work with. They are authorized agents to go through. So in case an increment incoming, they first give us the info that there is about to be an increase. So we should increase from our end. That is how we go about it. But we just don't wake up and then do it.
How regularly do the increases come? Do you have some information on maybe the last time there was an increase and the time before then? How does it work typically?
Oh, for close to, it's not even about a month. Let me say this. The increment, it just comes. In just less than 2 months, in less than 1 month now, it's about two times increment.
Okay, is this increment just on one brand or all the brands increase at the same time?
No, some of the brands, and mostly Gasm control most of them. So when Gasm starts, then others will also start. But for now, I think Jata has not. But Gasm starts their increment. So when they strike, then the Soul and then the T-Buff and then all of them, they all come up. But as it stands now, I think it's only Jata that has not come up with the increment.
What are the current prices of a 50 kg bag of cement now?
Gasm for now, the 42 spotters, 42.5 super strong is at 110. And then we have 32.5M, the super cool. That is also 93 cedis. So previously, the 42 was 100. And then the increment came 80. So we have to push it from 100 to 110 cedis. And then now the 32.5M, the super cool, it was 83 cedis. And then 10 cedis came, so we have to push it to 93. So when it's like they doesn't control most of them. So when they come, then the Soul and the Seamouth, all of them start coming up. But solely for now, one that we said that is not. So I think the price it will come out down.
I see. So what are the prices of Soul, of Seamouth, and also of Jata?
Oh, Jata should be selling at me for now. I sell mine at 98.
98.
90.
Okay, and the other brands that I mentioned, what are the prices?
The Gasm 42.
No, you mentioned Gasm, so maybe Soul Cement and the Seamouth, and if there's any other one.
So has also increased. So they are 42. I sell it at my end 100.
And it's moving from what price?
Moving from it was 95.
So we added 5 cedis extra. What about Seamouth and maybe Diamond? Do you have those prices readily available?
For now, I mostly do Gasm, Soul, and Jata. And then so yes.
Okay.
That's what I do now.
What do you make of the minister's directive to, which is supposed to go to the cement producers not to increase prices?
It is the companies they have to hold responsible. In the companies, we the distributors and then the retailers like this, we don't affect prices. It's a company, and then the cement prices, the way it is now, it always goes in the same way because the profit margin are very, very, very small. So when the increment is coming and then you don't increase at your end, later you end up like you can't go back and buy. So when it's coming, they even notice that something is coming. The cost of production is going up. So we should start before we start. But if they don't give the notice, we can't. Cement prices are mostly the prices that we can at all. They are almost at the same price. So it is the factory we like this, whenever they give we notice that it's coming down, we should bring it down. We will surely bring it down. But if they tell us that this is that and coming up, we can't, because if you don't increase, you can't go and buy. Imagine now the action, the actual price before the increment, it was 97. You can sell at 100 or 99. So before the increment, they will tell you that this and this. So your own stock and then your money, you have to buy and then keep your own stock so that you can push it. So that in case you go to the factory, 90, 170. You understand? So that is if the profit margin is just small money. It's not anything big. So if the changes are coming and then you don't change quickly, you always run at a loss.
Interesting. I get you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Okay, I appreciate it.
So that's a cement distributor speaking to us there on the directive by the minister. The association says no. These are dealers. He also says no. Before we go, the National Democratic Congress called a press conference today. At which press conference, it lashed out at the Electoral Commission for some of the things the EC is doing ahead of the elections of 2024. Fifi Kweti is the General Secretary. He spoke to the media.
We have witnessed a systematic erosion of trust through its actions. Actions that starkly reflect the corrupt and cronyistic tendencies of the Akufo-Addo government. The NPP's veiled threats to retain power at all costs and the EC's complicity in these threats represent a direct assault on the democratic principles that Ghana has long been celebrated for. Today, we have laid bare the EC's continuous failings, from the questionable recruitment of electoral officers to the mishandling of registration processes and the flagrant security breaches orchestrated by those in power. These are not mere oversights, but appear to be part of a broader scheme to disenfranchise particularly the youth and suppress new voter registrations that are critical to shaping Ghana's future. Furthermore, we call upon civil society, the international community, and other political stakeholders to join us in closely monitoring the EC's activities. This broad-based vigilance is essential to ensure that the forthcoming elections truly reflect the will of the Ghanaian people. The NDC reiterates its unwavering commitment to defending the democratic rights of all Ghanaians. We will not stand idly by while the potential of a free and fair election is undermined. We will confront and contest any and all attempts to skew the electoral process. Our dedication to the democratic process remains resolute, and we are prepared to take all necessary actions to protect the integrity of the votes of the Ghanaian people. Let it be clear, the choice before the EC is straightforward. They can either conduct the duties they have been given with the integrity that the position demands and ensure a peaceful transition of power, or the EC will face the full strength of a united and determined opposition. The Electoral Commission must not merely sit up. It must rise to the occasion with urgency and transparency. The EC is compelled to address the 35 critical questions posed by the NDC regarding the theft of the biometric equipment. The gravity of these issues cannot be overstated, and we demand clear and prompt responses. Furthermore, we insist on the initiation of an independent bipartisan parliamentary inquiry into the conduct of the Electoral Commission, particularly focusing on the stolen BVR case, which were under CCTV surveillance at the Electoral Commission headquarters, and the mysterious disappearance of BVDs. Indeed, these EC actions in the coming days will signal its commitment or lack thereof to upholding the democratic process in Ghana. We would accept nothing less than full accountability and immediate remedial action to restore faith in our electoral process. Let me also use the opportunity to make this demand to the EC. On replacement of lost voter ID cards, starting from the 30th May 2024, the EC is expected to provide cars at no cost to the victims of the flood that happened along the Volta River and Lake. This is a demand. It's not a plea, it's a demand. In conclusion, we stand not just as a party seeking electoral victory, but as staunch advocates for democracy and the rule of law. The NDC is ready to lead, not only to correct the course of our nation, but to rebuild the broken trust between the people and the institutions designed to serve them.
General Secretary of the NDC. And that would be it for Eyewitness News tonight. My name is Umaru Sanda Amadu. I did this with Akosia Ocho. Production by Kobna Wilson, Beverly London, Sami Wiafe, with support from Jude Duncan. The technical support tonight from Daniel Squashi.